So I'll press record. Record now.
Okay,
Cool.
see that, got it. Okay, looks like we have some people joining us. How exciting.
All right, should I go ahead and switch? We can go over the outline, and I'm sure if everyone joins in a minute or two late, they can catch up pretty quickly.
Sounds good. Yeah, let's get started.
Cool. All right, little overview. We'll be giving some details about Broadreach, about us, why we think we're a great choice for your marine bio adventures. Then we'll go over the trips that we have running this summer with a focus on marine biology, followed by we'll leave plenty of time for any questions that you might have. A note about questions, we do have a Q&A box, question answer box. So if you think of a question as we're talking, feel free to type it in there. We may answer it over the course of the webinar, but if not, then we can get to those at the end. So go ahead and leave those as you think of them. If we answer them one, we'll mark it as complete. Right, and you want to introduce yourself, Patrick?
Sure, as Bethany said, thank you so much. My name is Patrick. I'm originally from New Jersey, and I became a dive instructor in 2010. It's crazy to think that that was 12 years ago. But soon after I became a dive instructor, I found myself working on a marine conservation program in Mexico to help restore some coral reefs down there. And while I was there, I heard about this company that was teaching students about marine biology, scuba diving, and everything in between. That company was Broadreach. And my journey with Broadreach officially started in 2012, working on our Bahamas marine biology program. You won't see that program listed here. There is a version of it, but we'll chat about that a little bit later. I eventually moved to Raleigh in 2016 to work here at our headquarters. I'm fortunate to still get out in the field once in a while. I've led programs in Curacao, Fiji, Bali, the Caribbean, Cayman Islands, and I've definitely got my fingers crossed that I'll be able to go somewhere cool diving with our students this summer.
Awesome. And my name is Bethany. I'm from here, North Carolina, more or less. I'm the marketing communications coordinator here at Broadreach. So I do things like update the website, send out emails, manage our social media. So chances are you've probably heard from me before if you're in our email database or follow us on social media. And let's start with a little background now about Broadreach and our history.
Happy 30th birthday, Broadreach. Wow, can't believe it's been 30 years. Side note, behind me, you might see Claire, our Caribbean director, moving in and around. So feel free to say hi to her. Could pass along a message. So Broadreach has been running these unique and exciting marine biology programs all over the globe for the last 30 years. Our mission here at Broadreach is to create mind-blowing adventures for students to actively learn, explore, and build skills through hands-on discovery and, of course, interaction with the world's oceans, ecosystems, and wildlife. It's really great to be able to get back to our roots of the ocean, of the water. And based on all this, we've taken tens of thousands of students abroad. We're very proud of our history, our program design, and our philosophy. If you're lucky enough to become a member of the Broadreach family, which we hope you will this summer, you'll find that we've zeroed in on providing an exceptional student experience from the first moment you call us throughout the course of the adventure, throughout the summer, and even into college, careers, and beyond. We pride ourselves on taking care of our families and including everyone, not just students, on the journey. This smaller circular photo you see here is actually from the very first Broadreach program. This was in the very early 90s, well, 30 years ago. So this was in the British Virgin Islands. Their experience was way more rustic than we are these days, but we try to hold true to the values that fuel all of our Broadreach programs. And this was a sea kayaking program, so you can kind of see that sea kayak back there. So this larger map that you see is where we're heading this summer. So almost every island in the Caribbean is covered. We've got Costa Rica, Ecuador, and the Galapagos, Curacao, Bonaire, Egypt, Fiji, and Bali. Maybe even one day we'll have a program in the Arctic. So we'll see. No ocean will be left alone. So.
Awesome. All right, so now focusing a little more on the specific programs and trips that we run. At Broadreach, we really put a lot of thought and intention into designing every aspect of our programs to maximize their impact and the benefit that students can get from them. We put our values of active learning, exploration, skill building at the forefront of all of our adventures. And our goal is to spark curiosity and confidence in our students by allowing them to explore, learn, work through challenges, and celebrate their successes. So we choose the program locations where we run those trips to offer the perfect backdrop for skill mastery, hands-on discovery, and of course, adventure. All of our programs have small group sizes, a maximum of typically 12 students, sometimes a little bit fewer, as well as highly qualified instructors, which we'll learn about in a second. Students embrace the environments through lots of learning opportunities and even earn college credits along the way. So you'll learn a little bit more about the college credits and our instructors here in just a bit.
All right, speaking of our instructors, say hi to Maria and Kieran. These were two of our instructors this past summer. Our Broadreach instructors are a diverse and fun bunch, as you can see from this photo. And roughly 50% of them return year after year. We ran the numbers specifically this past summer, and 46.4% of them returned for 2022. So we're hoping that number is the same or even larger for 2023. But yeah, we're very proud of that number. So our families love to know more about our instructors, and it's hard to say exactly who will be the instructor on a particular program, especially right at this moment here in the fall as we're ramping up our hiring process. However, it's good to know that on average, our instructors are about 28 years old, and if they're leading an academic component of a program, marine biology in this case, they'll have their master's degree or doctorate in the material they are teaching. So needless to say, they're true experts in their subject matter. Marine biologists, zoologists, dive instructors, and teachers who are passionate about what they do, and they can't wait to share it this summer. Our instructors are also incredible mentors. So even years after Broadreach programs end, we have instructors who write college reference letters, provide job recommendations for students who decide to pursue their passion for the ocean on a full-time basis. But ultimately, our instructors are there to facilitate a fun and safe experience for their students. If you would like to learn more about them, check out the blog on our website for a Q&A with some of our wonderful trip leaders. And we're also going to post a link to that blog in the webinar follow-up email. So keep an eye on that.
Yeah. All right, slightly less fun topic, health and safety, but definitely just as important or more important. People often ask whether our programs are safe. And we know that for parents, your student safety is your top priority. And fortunately at Broadreach, it's our top priority as well. So although our programs only run in the summer, we work year-round planning and preparing for the programs that allows us to take a proactive approach to really manage the risks that students and instructors could face in their program. So we develop emergency action plans, extensive plans customized for each trip and each place we go during each trip and each activity that we do during each trip to cover how to respond to potential incidents, both large and small. Fortunately, most incidents that we see are minor cuts and scrapes and bumps and bruises. We do occasionally have something a little more serious, a stomach bug, a broken bone, something along those lines that requires more extensive medical care. And our instructors are prepared and well trained on exactly how to manage those incidents. Also, here at Broadreach HQ, we provide 24/7 office support to instructors as well as our families while students are in the field. So we're really available round the clock during the summer to help out should anyone need anything at any time, literally. We also encourage and teach our students to participate in being risk managers while they're on program. So they'll be briefed by their instructors at each location where they go to kind of help think about potential risks and how to avoid them. That really teaches them important travel skills as well. Our instructors attend a 10-day in-person training to learn about Broadreach, our philosophy, get in depth with our program coordinators about all the aspects of the programs they're leading, including location and program-specific risk management consideration. So all that to say, rest assured, we're committed to taking exceptional care of your student and that is our top priority.
All right, to our students out there on Broadreach, our hope is that you have more fun learning than you thought would be possible. We believe in the value of learning by doing. being presented with authentic experiences, and definitely chasing your personal curiosity. We design our courses to be fun, dynamic, active, and full of hands-on learning. You'll find that most days on a marine biology program with Broadreach have a theme or a specific topic. Typically, if you have a lesson, it's going to be paired with an activity that applies what you've been discussing. It should feel very different from the structured classroom settings that you're likely used to. We are constantly surrounded by opportunities out there in the world to gain more understanding, to ask questions, and to explore. On our high school programs, which do offer college credit, there are a few more traditional academic elements that are required to earn that academic credit. So everyone will take a midterm, a final exam, participate in graded field exercises, and turn in roughly 5 to 8 journal entries. Now, all these items will help celebrate and provide feedback on what you are learning. For programs where credit is offered, those credits come from our partnership with Lesley University, just as if you had taken a course on their campus in Massachusetts. Officially enrolling for these credits is optional, but either way, we expect all students to participate fully in the course regardless of their credit choice. We definitely recommend enrolling for credit because if you're doing the work, you might as well earn the credit. And those registration fees and credit fees, should you choose to take the course for credit, are included in your Broadreach tuition. And at the conclusion of the summer, we'll share instructions with you about requesting an official transcript from Lesley University. So now we're going to jump into some specifics, a few of the marine biology programs that we've got on offer for this summer, starting with our Costa Rica sea turtle and marine conservation program. Thank you, Bethany. All right, Broadreach has run a version of our sea turtle studies course in lots of different countries over the years. We've been to Dominica, Italy, Greece, but in those locations, sea turtle sightings weren't always reliable. So why not go where the turtles are? And in this case, that is Costa Rica. Also, there's just so much to learn from the way that Costa Rica leads the world in conservation and ecotourism. Sea turtles, it turns out, are also the perfect animal to help us experience those larger topics. So we start this program on the Caribbean coast, which is full of wildlife. We collaborate with a research station here and work in their turtle hatchery, explore game trails, check camera traps, and learn how that research station's efforts are improving turtle populations, as well as other at-risk species. Just a heads up with our Costa Rica program, it is a rustic program. There is limited access to Wi-Fi, limited access to things like air conditioning, stuff that we're used to. But at the same time, on the flip side, this allows us to become really immersed in nature, which is really one of the big goals of this program. After exploring the Caribbean coast, we head over to the Pacific side of Costa Rica, where we stay at another remote research station. This area is well renowned for snorkeling. We'll continue to talk about turtles, of course, but we'll slightly shift our focus towards other marine species as well. We'll do a marine mammal survey, go tide pooling, hiking, have some beach bonfires, and embrace the Pura Vida lifestyle. I think one of the highlights for a lot of our students this past summer, and a lot of these photos are from this past summer, was getting a chance to do some of those favorite Costa Rican adventures like whitewater rafting and also surfing. I'll plug in here as well that there's that turtle hatchery, which I mentioned earlier, we work with. They collect biometric data on turtle hatchlings, turtle babies, which means if you're lucky, you can get to work directly with baby turtles. So no promises, but super cute and I think pretty awesome. And next, we've got our Caribbean marine biology voyage. You'll hear throughout the pace of this webinar that I refer to our programs as adventures. This is because of our programs are more than just an academic course. We also have a lot of fun. And on this particular adventure, our home is a catamaran, which is a 40 to 50 foot sailboat with 2 hulls, and it's really a beautiful way to travel. It makes a great floating classroom for these marine biology lessons. It also means that as soon as you learn about a marine biology topic, chances are you can hop in the water and see it firsthand. I'd say probably the highlight for our students this past summer was getting a chance to dissect a fish right on board the boat. You can see here we have got, looks like a barracuda there in one of those middle frames. Sometimes that's a lionfish that we get to dissect. So that's really always a lot of fun. Get to work with Saba Marine Park, Saba Conservation Foundation. Us on the island of Saba, thank you. Getting a chance to help them clean and maintain their coral nurseries. Coral restoration is a big deal in the world of marine biology, and we try to infuse that into a lot of our adventures, which you'll see here. Speaking of Saba, some of the best diving in the world is going to be on the island of Ceiba. The ocean around it is a large marine park. Broadreach is among a select few that get to dive right from our boat. This means dawn dives, night dives, every type of dive you can imagine. So it's a really cool spot. We also have a version of this program for our middle school students. It's shorter, 12 days, but packed with tons of scuba diving, sailing, and marine biology knowledge. This adventure is not as rigorous as our high school version because it does not involve college credit, but it does offer an exploratory introduction to marine biology. So topics include, but are certainly not limited to, things like sharks, bioluminescence, invasive creatures like lionfish. And we also have a lot of other lessons that are really guided by the curiosity of the students and the expertise of our staff. So if students want to learn about it, really all they have to do is ask. Of course, we also have a lot of fun. We go hiking, water skiing, body surfing, snorkeling, and get a chance to learn about the history of the Caribbean firsthand. It's really unique in getting a chance to have a group of like-minded students together, pursuing a passion like marine biology, and then getting to explore every aspect of the water. And then we have probably one of our most popular high school programs, Fiji Shark Studies. This is a fan favorite. Fiji itself is an incredible destination, and students learn so much simply just from being there. And then on top of that, you add scuba diving with sharks almost every day, and all this on the friendliest place on Earth. It's easy to see why this program fills up so quickly every year. And the highlight for our students is studying sharks, right? It's hard to deny. Sharks are sometimes a much maligned creature in the media, but as our students learn, they're a vital part of a healthy ocean ecosystem. And the dive shop we partner with and the scientists we work with teach students to respect sharks and view them in a whole new light. We also get to see all of the sharks. So up to, I think it's 7 or 8 different species, depending on the year. So beyond bull sharks, which are certainly the highlight of the shark dives, we'll also get a chance to see lemon sharks, silver-tip sharks, black-tip sharks, gray reef sharks, nurse sharks. Occasionally, if we're really lucky, maybe a tiger shark. And also a fun fact, if our students, right, our group spots a new shark there on the shark dive, they get a chance to name it, which I think is pretty neat. There's no Patrick shark yet, but we'll see, maybe one day. We'll also make sure to set aside time for other adventures. I like whitewater rafting on the Nuvua River, which is the Grand Canyon of Fiji. It's a really beautiful place. And new for 2023, our groups will be spending a couple of nights in a local Fijian village. This definitely offers a new level of immersion and allowing students to move outside their comfort zones while at the same time appreciating the beauty of Fiji and its culture. This is one of our longest running marine biology programs, and while it's a long trip to the other side of the world, it's well worth it. And as I mentioned, spots are really going fast. We have one session with only, I think, 3 spots left. So definitely let us know and check out the dates on our website.
Also, just a quick mention for that one, you do need to be scuba certified. So have the equivalent of your PADI open water, at least.
Yeah. All right. Curacao Marine Biology Adventure. This would be a great choice for students that are not dive certified, or if students are dive certified. So we'll have an extra dive instructor there, so we'll be able to work with students wherever they are in their diving education. And for our high school students, it's a really special opportunity in the world of marine biology. This program started in the Turks and Caicos back in the early 90s, eventually moved to the Bahamas in the year 2000. I was fortunate to be able to lead that program there. And then finally, this program moved to Curacao in 2017. And here in Curacao, we partner with CARMABI, which stands for the Caribbean Research and Management of Biodiversity, which is a marine research station in Curacao. It's actually the largest marine research station in the Southern Caribbean. This is our home and our classroom for the duration of this adventure. And that allows the group to really become part of the family at that research station. We get to know the marine biologists who are performing research on the reefs right outside of the research station. It also helps that this place is right on the beach, which gives us easy access for scuba diving and seeing those marine biology lessons come to life. I'd say coral, right, is kind of my favorite, and I think our students really love working with the Coral Restoration Foundation here in Curacao. The Coral Restoration Foundation got their start in the Florida Keys, but they're fortunate enough to have a location in Curacao. Well, we're fortunate enough that they have a location in Curacao. And here we get a chance to replant staghorn and elkhorn coral, which are vital and also fast growing species of coral. And we get to plant them back on the reef where they belong. And it's been amazing to see since 2017, those coral gardens grow. We're excited to keep contributing to those for many years to come. Some other highlights that you'll see here on this slide: kayaking, replanting mangroves along the coast, learning about and making jewelry out of invasive lionfish, and hiking to the top of Mount Christoffel for some amazing views of the island. And I would recommend this adventure to students who want to really live the life of a marine biologist and immerse themselves in that life.
Great. So now we've highlighted all of our amazing marine biology adventures for this summer. We hope you have a better idea of what each adventure has to offer and some of the differences between them. All of our programs are really popular, some of the most popular programs that we run, because they offer a great balance of education and experience that's really hard to find anywhere else. I think one of the biggest benefits that students are able to have is getting these experiences that you wouldn't normally have until much later in your academic career, which is really key at this time when they might be starting to consider college, what major they want to pursue, future careers, etc. Our students get to spend a lot of time throughout all of our adventures working alongside marine biologists and researchers. Plus they have the guidance, mentorship, and support of their Broadreach instructors as well, who also have a wealth of experience in the field. And then on top of all that, they come home with college credits, which can be transferred to most colleges and universities in the US, which is also an amazing bonus as you're starting to apply to colleges. Also want to quickly mention, we've got a few upcoming webinars and other webinars in our fall series. We've got one next week on our veterinary medicine and wildlife conservation adventures, and the following week about our beginner scuba diving programs. We had one a few weeks ago about our advanced dive trips, and so you can watch that recording online now. So if you have a sibling, friend, or yourself that might be interested in any of these, feel free to register for those or pass them along. If you're considering signing up for a program, we'd love to help you chat in depth, answer any questions you might have about all of the possibilities for your summer. So give us a call or send us an email. You can also schedule a call or a video chat online. We also do have a special promo code, especially for those who've registered for the webinar. So you can use the code MBIO23 anytime between now and November 11th for $250 off your program tuition. And at this time, we'll open up the floor for questions. So feel free to submit those in the question box there.
I don't know about you, Bethany, but I'm excited for the summer.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah.
Be even more excited if I was going on all of these adventures.
I know, especially as it's getting colder here in Raleigh. So just thinking about the warm Caribbean, it'd be nice.
I always get to live vicariously through all the photos and pictures from the summer, so.
Yeah. All right, looks like we've got one question here about how does travel day work? That's a good question. So there's lots of steps in that process of getting students ready for the summer. But when families enroll in a Broadreach program, we'll send them login information to the Broadreach portal. And in here, there will be a separate section on how to book flights. We will provide vetted flight recommendations wherever our students are going for this summer. If there are internal flights, we can also assist with that. We have a travel agency that we partner with. They can be a valuable resource in helping families book flights. When the actual travel day itself arrives, our students will have a Broadreach t-shirt that they can wear. So while they're traveling throughout the airport, and especially once they arrive in country, our staff will be there to meet them and can spot them. They can also find fellow students in some of those connecting airports. Our shirts are bright and I think really cool, so easy to spot. We'll also send minor international travel forms for students to have informational sheets for family and students. So if they need to get in contact with Broadreach, as Bethany mentioned earlier, we're here 24/7 throughout the summer, and we'll have a dedicated travel hotline for any questions that come up. unaccompanied minor information. So talking about maybe some of our middle school students that might be traveling a little bit differently on airlines, we can help you navigate that. And then our staff will be there once students clear customs, and then the adventure will begin.
I actually have the 2023
Sneak peek.
t-shirt here, so it's a nice orange color. It'll be easy to spot each
Very
other in
cool.
the airport. So I have one here asking if students need to be dive certified for any of the other programs apart from Fiji. And so the answer to that would be no for so the Caribbean Marine Biology Voyage and the Intro to Marine Biology Voyage, Curacao, do not require to be dive certified, and the Costa Rica Sea Turtles, it doesn't have a scuba diving component, so for that one either. Just really Fiji Shark Studies is the only one that requires that.
Yep, that is correct.
Will my daughter be able to call me? Yes. So as soon as they arrive on travel day, arrival day, they'll be able to call home. So that's kind of one of the first things that we have them do. We have a whole process. They'll be able to call. After that, we arrange calls once a week. So usually on Saturday or Sunday on the weekend, we will do call home day, kind of have everyone call home either with their own phone or an instructor's phone. Also regarding kind of communications, we have daily trip updates. So it's like a blog where students take turns writing kind of what they all did that day, giving a little update on the activities for all of us at home to follow along with. We also have a Google Photos album that's updated about daily with all the pictures from the day. So it's kind of nice, even if you're not talking with your student as often as you're used to, you're kind of still being able to see them and hear about what they're doing and all their adventures. Also, we do have a new policy this year. So we'll be collecting student cell phones on day one of program, kind of keeping them all together in a safe place. Students will have the chance to get their phones back to call home or check messages occasionally. So once or twice a week during program. And instructors can return phones briefly to allow students to call home, send a message outside of those preset times at their discretion. Just a reminder, we're also here 24/7 at Broadreach HQ while we have programs in the field. So if there is an emergency, you will be able to have contact with us and the instructors. It's just kind of a way to keep students living in the moment and connecting with their group and kind of have a detox from social media and phones and all of that.
Yeah, I know these cell phones now have the SIM cards built into the phones technology, right? You gotta try and try and fight it occasionally where we can. We've got a question here about our Caribbean 17-day marine biology program. How many boats travel together? That's a great question. So each boat would have 12 students and 3 staff members, but there would be 2 boats. So that cohort will be a total of 24 students, 6 staff members between those 2 boats. And then there also is going to be a support boat with some of our Caribbean leadership team that follows around those boats and follows around some of our other itineraries as well. So 2 marine biology boats together on that adventure, which is really neat.
Yeah. Another one about the marine bio trip. How fast will the Caribbean marine bio trip sessions fill up? Are any of them sold out yet? So the first session, I believe, is getting to be about half full. The other ones have a handful, but not they're not full yet. I think probably, I would say the Caribbean Marine Bio Voyage tends to be one of the first Caribbean trips to fill. But yeah, none of them are down to like the last few spots at this time.
We do a pretty good job of keeping our website updated. So as you're looking through those sessions and those dates, once we get down usually below maybe 3 spots, I think it is, Bethany, you can correct me if I'm wrong, we'll kind of start to count down As it gets less than half, then we'll say limited on some of those sessions, so you can keep an eye there, especially as we get close to the holidays. We'll see a big spike in enrollments, so sometimes it's tough to keep up with a lot of that updating on the exact numbers. Easiest way is to just give us a call, and we can kind of chat about what those enrollments look like, and then let you know kind of maybe a timeline to make a decision on Broadreach, which in my mind is always sooner the better, but that's just, I'm biased, so.
Yeah, I will say also, we do have until January 15th, the deposit for the trip. Right now, we take a $1,000 deposit to hold the spot, and that deposit is completely refundable through January 15th. So, that's always something. If you want to save your spot and you're kind of waiting to hear about something or your plans change, you can cancel that, or if you need to make change to another session or something, we're happy to do that really at any point, as long as there's space available in the other session.
Awesome. All right.
Let's see, one question about college credit, how that works for high school students. Yeah, so all of our high school marine bio programs have the option for college credit. Students are automatically opted in, so you kind of have to opt out if you don't wish to receive it. I always recommend to go ahead and just stay opted in. If you're worried about putting pressure on your student, I would say nobody needs to see the, if you completely bomb the course, nobody needs to see it. So just try your best. And usually you'll be surprised by how well you do. And the benefit of working so closely with the instructors is that you really kind of get to know them, and they can get to know your student and their learning style, and provide that extra assistance, since you're kind of always have your instructor on hand to answer questions. But after the summer's over, the credit will be offered through Lesley University. So if they pass, then we'll register them with the Lesley University and send instructions on getting that transcript, which you can forward to whatever college or university you'd like in the future.
All right. Well, I know there are probably more questions out there. Feel free to fire away. But if there are no other questions, then I think this might conclude our webinar. But you'll see on this slide, definitely stay in touch. Feel free to email me, pbryden@gobroadreach.com. Happy to talk any time of day, any time of night about our marine biology programs. Zoom calls are a fantastic way for you to get to know us, and vice versa, get to know you, your students, and everyone's goals for the summer. So please reach out to us. We're pretty friendly humans over here. And so, yeah, check out our website. But otherwise, I hope everyone has a safe and happy and spooky Halloween. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you this summer for some adventures in the world of marine biology. And have a great night.
Bye. Thank you so much for coming.